When we're trying to solve problems like this, we're going to start out the same way that we do when we have numbers that we're plugging into the function. So I have this function defined, g of x equals 2x squared minus 5x plus 1, and I want to find g of negative x. I'm going to write what I want to find, g of negative x equals, and then I'm going to rewrite the entire original function, but everywhere there's an x, I'm going to put a negative x in its place. Then all I have to do is simplify and combine like terms. So the first step here is negative x squared. Well, negative x times negative x, a negative times a negative is a positive, and x times x is x squared. So negative x squared is just x squared. Oh, and I forgot to put my negative x in here. The next step, negative 5 times negative x would be positive 5x. And then I have a plus 1 that I didn't get affected because I had nothing to plug in there. At this stage I would combine like terms if I had any. I do not, because the first x is squared and the next x is not, so they're not considered like terms. So this is actually my final answer for g of negative x. 2x squared plus 5x plus 1. I'm going to do similar thing for g of 1 minus t. I'm going to write out my original function, but everywhere there's an x, I'm going to put a 1 minus t. Now with this problem, there's a couple of extra steps. The first thing I got to realize is that 1 minus t squared is 1 minus t times 1 minus t, which means I have to FOIL this out or distribute it, however, whatever method you're comfortable with doing there. In this case, I'm going to FOIL. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times negative t is negative t. Negative t times 1 is negative t. And negative t times negative t is positive t squared. Here I can distribute my negative 5. So negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. And negative 5 times negative t is positive 5t. Now I'm going to combine like terms inside these parentheses. Negative t and negative t makes negative 2t when I add them together. I can go ahead and combine like terms outside also. Negative 5 plus 1 is going to be negative 4. Now I'm ready to distribute the 2 through the parentheses. So 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times t squared is 2t squared. And finally, I'm going to combine like terms and then I'll be done. There are no other t squareds, so I have 2t squared. Negative 4t plus 5t is positive 1t. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. All my like terms are combined. All my parentheses have been taken care of, so this is the final answer. So g of 1 minus t equals 2t squared plus t minus 2. If you need any more help on these types of questions, just email me again and let me know. I hope this answered your question, at least in part, and will help you get through the homework, but definitely let me know if you have any other questions.